My childhood. What were some weird, untrue things you believed as a child? I believed that ATMs gave you free money. So every time one of my parents said they didn't have money for something, I would just be like, why don't you just get more from the ATM? What is the most rebellious thing you did in your childhood? Probably throwing mud balls to people who would ride their bikes in my street. Yeah. What was your worst experience in school? Probably the time I wasn't wearing a shirt in school. What is your earliest memory? Probably being at preschool when I was 2 years old. Did you break any bones as a kid? Were you a daredevil? I haven't, and I totally wasn't. What did you want to become when you were a tiny child? When I was very little, like 4 years old, I wanted to be a chemistry professor. I also wanted to be an inventor. Later on, I wanted to be an archaeologist, and I wanted to be an actor. What's the first piece of technology you owned as a kid? It was the very first Nintendo DS. Did you have an imaginary friend, and if so, what happened to him or her? When I was little, I had an imaginary ghost as my friend. I'm totally sure he wasn't a real ghost because his name was a pun that only I could think of. You see, I named him Ritzy, and he wore like this zip-up hoodie. And in Dutch, a zipper is called a rits. Get it? Ritzy. What was your favorite toy when you were little? My first stuffed animal was basically this yellow ghost doll stuffed animal thing. And we had like 5 of those. They all had like this pointy winter hat that just would like droop down. And on one of them it was sewn in a way that it had a little stripe at the top. So I gave that one the most creative name I had ever come up with. Dolly with the stripe. And I refused to play with the others because I only wanted to play with Dolly with a stripe because the other ones didn't have a stripe. What was your favorite candy when you were little? I guess it would either have to be gummy candy or chocolate. Did you ever throw a tantrum in a public forum, and what was it for? Not publicly. I have tantrumed, that's a word, right? Before, but never really very publicly. I do remember I was playing in the mud, and this elderly guy said I wasn't allowed to play in the mud. It wasn't his mud or anything. And I was like, you aren't gonna decide where I'm gonna play or not. This is a park. And he grabbed my neck and like pushed me out of it, and then I proceeded to rage about that guy for like 10 minutes or something. Who was your favorite school teacher and what made them so special? It's actually very difficult for me to say that someone is my favorite in anything, because to me it feels morally weird to place someone above others. But I had some very awesome teachers in elementary school, and I also had some very awesome ones in middle and high school. I just really can't pick one. Who was your childhood best friend? Like I said before, it's very difficult for me to pick a best or favorite person for something. But before I was 14, I actually did classify people as my best friends, and I can name them to you. At first it was Jordy, my neighbor kid, but he moved away and I never saw him again. Then it was E-Hop, a guy from my school, but then he moved away and I never saw him again. A girl named Soraya, but she moved away and I barely ever saw her again. I did see her again a while back. A girl named Luz, she was actually the only one that didn't move away. A guy named Yuri, who also moved away, and I haven't really seen him again. And then when I was 14, I decided I don't want to classify people as best friends anymore, but I now do have a lot of awesome friends. What was your favorite subject in school? Basically, I liked them all a bit. I really hated calculation and math and stuff. And in middle/high school, it was English and biology. Favorite childhood TV show? So many, to be honest. The first one ever has got to be Pokemon, probably. What was your biggest fear as a kid? Losing the people I love. I still have that, by the way. What was your favorite game and why? 100% Minecraft. Did you play outside growing up, and what was your favorite thing to do? I did, a lot. And I was actually the one that would always come up with the ideas. When you were a child, what were you scared of that you're not scared of anymore? Probably being away from home and sleeping at other places, because I totally hated that. And I'm not scared of that anymore, I just still really hate it, because I always sleep terrible at other places. If you could go back in time to your 5-year-old self, what would you say to mine? Okay, James, do you mean what I would say to you when we were both like 5 years old? Probably this. Hello, James. Because you know, that's what my voice sounded like, and you would say, who are you? I am from the future, James. In the future, you will be creating videos on a platform called YouTube that probably doesn't exist. Now let me get, yeah, it doesn't exist yet. And you would be like, whoa, I don't actually know what you're saying because that platform doesn't exist yet. And I would be like, yeah, I know, but I'm a time traveler, and this is basically like the anime Erased, which is a very awesome anime. Basically a bye. Probably like that. Hey there, thank you for your questions. You can already leave new questions down below in the comments about the next subject, which is the Netherlands. Because I'm from the Netherlands and I am very curious to hear your questions about this country and what's life like and everything like that. So if you want to ask them for the next Q&A, you can already leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this new Q&A video. Sorry it was a Q&A again, but it's quick to make and I'm really busy with school at the moment, and I also don't really feel all too well, so. But I still hope you enjoyed it. So if you have any questions regarding the Netherlands, you can put them in the comments for next Q&A. And if you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe to this channel. I post getting to know each other a little bit better videos or skit vlogs. Today on Saturday, and on Wednesday I post comedy sketches or cinematics or a combination between the two. All of that to let people know that it's awesome and okay to be yourself and to be unique, and you shouldn't let anyone change who you are because you are perfect the way you are. But above all, I really hope you like this video, and like I always say, just be unique, you're awesome the way you are.